Yes, I changed my mind. What are you going to do about it? Hi, my name is Joy Ogwedi, and this is All Things People podcast.
Bounce on that shit, dance, dance. Bounce on that shit, dance, dance. Bounce on that shit, dance, dance. Bounce on that shit, no hands. Bounce on that shit, dance, dance. Bounce on that shit, dance, dance. Bounce on that shit, dance, dance. Bounce on that shit, no.
Oh my God, time and again, it feels so weird to just change your mind because you are perceived like a person who does not have a stand. It's okay to change your mind. Literally just change your mind because most times you don't like to act like it, but a lot of the opinions and perspectives that we have are all influenced by our environment and the people that we hang around. So you having the same opinion on something for years and then later one time you decide to change your mind because of the experience that you've had and the way that you want to go about your life is literally just okay. Just do it, okay? Don't be ashamed. Don't feel shy. Just change your mind, right? I want to talk about this. I just feel it's so important because growing up, you gotta unlearn and learn new things, and changing your mind feels like a crime sometimes. And this is why I want to talk about this because it has affected me directly and indirectly. And I just want to air my opinions when it comes to changing my mind. But before that, you already know what my eyes have seen.
Dance, dance.
Which is a feature that I introduced so that I can talk about things that caught my attention throughout the week. And this week is no different. I was listening to this audio. Listen to this. I've always wanted to talk about overconsumption and how I feel about this. But this girl for sure words it better than I can. So here she is.
I'm gonna piss some people off in a sec, but here goes. Fast fashion, overconsumption, and influencer culture has helped normalize some pretty messed up behavior. Doing new clothing hauls every week and every month is not normal. It's also not normal to buy luxury goods and act like you're just buying groceries. It's also not normal to constantly be off on holidays or retreats. Not normal to own storefronts worth of beauty and makeup products. Constantly seeing this type of consumer behavior online, and then it suddenly starts to feel normal. But not only is this super unrealistic for people, it's also super unsustainable. Also, it's not a human right to be able to afford cheap and trendy clothing. In fact, people have been on budgets long before Shein existed. Shein is not that old. Borrowed, swapped, got secondhand clothes, got clothes from older kids, and whenever we got a piece of clothes from an actual store, it was something special. Now I sound ancient. I'm just tired of seeing both regular people as well as influencers defend this type of consumer behavior like it's their right. Like their trendy outfit is worth more than the waste and exploitation it cost. Buy less crap and start unfollowing the creators that romanticize overconsumption. Trust me, you will be so much better off.
And I always thought it was maybe because I was poor or something, or we just didn't value having clothes, you know? Because in recent age, so many people do clothing hauls. And it's like, do you really buy new clothes that often? You're not even a fashion influencer, you know? It's just, you're like a regular person. You're doing a 9-to-5 job. Why do you need that many clothes in a year? I just don't get it. Like, to me, it seemed like something that people were trying to imitate from influencers just to imitate a lifestyle. I'm not saying it's bad. I mean, if you can sustain it, well and good, but it's not a sustainable lifestyle. I just think it's greedy. Okay, maybe not greedy, but like I just think it's too much. What do you need that many clothes for? You don't need to be doing clothing hauls every 2 weeks, bruh. It's a bit much. Okay, Kwanzaa, it's like new clothes. It's not even thrifted, bro. It's like new clothes. So you're buying new, like that's literally it. What manze? And yeah, we just live in different times these days. Also, the point for having luxury goods regularly. I just feel like there's a culture to normalize buying and having luxury goods in your house when most of these luxury goods are not even like necessary or basic needs. And it's forcing a lot of people to try and keep up with like a pop culture that they can. It's forcing a lot of people to live beyond their means because they want to take a picture right in front a Louis Vuitton bag, you know. It's a lot. And I get it. Yeah, social media has come. Like, there's a lot of people who are influencing us and you want to maintain and you want to look like you're living a great life. And you taking a picture in front of that Louis Vuitton bag makes you look cool and makes you look like you are about the good things in life. I mean, well and good, but like buying them regularly is crazy. It is crazy. Because then I've seen online people buying dupes for luxury goods just so that they can feel like they have the luxury good or manifest the luxury good. I don't really know. You're buying a dupe that is more expensive than another dupe from like another dupe store. Get it? It's like you're getting a Gucci dupe bag that is literally so expensive it could be the actual bag, but it's a dupe. Well, you could get a Gucci dupe bag that looks exactly the same, but it's worth the price of a bag. Get it? I don't know if I'm making sense. There's just like a normalization of having luxury goods. Kwanzaa, because we're in the age of social media and everybody is influencing over there and everybody wants to look like they're living the dream. Bro, you're going on holidays and retreats every month. Like every month, come with me to go and stay here. Come with me to go for a staycation, and like you're going just on holiday retreats every month. I mean, I guess some people can sustain that lifestyle. I mean, and I guess there's people who have sacrificed certain things in their lives just so that they can afford to go out and like go to these retreats and holidays every month. But really, this is not normal for everybody. And like it's starting to be normalized and people are starting to feel like they're not living a good life because they can't afford to go on holiday retreats every month. This is not normal. This is like an exaggerated lifestyle. Plus, you forget that on social media, people will only film things that they want you to see. They don't film them borrowing money from friends and saying that they're going to pay it back. And then they end up extending that time. They don't show you how they're struggling with their rent money or how they're not eating real food because they're saving for that trip. You know what I'm saying? I just think it's crazy. Plus, it's okay to just go on 2 trips a year. You don't have to go on a trip every single month. There's people who live that lifestyle. I don't think it's sustainable. I just think it's a lot. Also, Kwanzaa, this one is something that I was thinking about Itambo because one of my favorite creators is Jackie Aina and also Arnell. And both of them are into perfumes. And there was a time in my life I was watching them for a really long time. And I started to feel like, I need to have more perfumes in my collection. Like, I don't need that many perfumes. Like, they have a whole wall dedicated to perfumes. Jackie Aina even has her own perfume line, So being online does influence you consciously and even subconsciously. You might think that you're not getting influenced, but you are. Like, forcefully getting influenced, like without your consent. Because tell me why, after watching them for a while, I was really into perfumes and I wanted to have like a whole collection of perfumes. I wanted to have like 70,000, okay, maybe not 70,000, but like a lot of perfumes. And to be honest, you just need one good perfume to smell nice. You don't need 5 or 10 or 20 or 30 or 100 perfumes on your wall to smell nice. You're going to smell nice regardless. If you're a person who bathes and you take care of your hygiene and you've got a nice perfume, you're going to smell nice. That's the whole point of like having a perfume, right? But these days, I think we've been influenced to think that smelling nice is not the only reason for having a perfume. Other reasons for having a perfume is smelling like the occasion, is smelling like the destination. Like there's different vibes to different perfumes. Of course there is. But I just want to say it's creating and influencing people to overconsume things that they don't even need. Because why do you have freaking 30,000 perfumes on your wall? You don't need all of that. Donate to your friends and family. Bro, even if you're like an influencer and you're getting all these brands sending you lip glosses and like makeup stuff, and obviously you've got a lot of them, right? You're going to use them. You're going to figure out which is your favorite, right? Why do you need to have that many bronzers? Why do you need to have that many foundation sticks? Do you really need all of that? I get it. You are a makeup enthusiast. And it makes sense that all these people have sent you, all these brands is what I mean to say, have sent you those makeup sticks. But for you to have that many, you don't even use, just donate to your friends, okay? Give a good review and donate to your friends and your family. You don't need to have all of those. You are overconsuming. It's a bit much. It's not sustainable. And being on budget is underlooked and it's made to feel like you're just living like a poor life. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just being careful and being content with the things that I need in my life. Overconsumption is not cool, is what I mean to say. And this is what has caught my attention this week. I can't wait to see what catches my attention next week. I've been liking paying attention to things that catch my attention throughout the week because, I get to talk about it on the podcast. And I just want to say that if you realize that you're following a creator who is influencing you to overconsume stuff, maybe just unfollow them for a while. Live your life and feel content with the things that you have. Aim for higher things if you feel like it's not enough. But then if you're being influenced to overconsume, that's not a healthy lifestyle. So maybe unfollow them for just a while until you restructure your brain and yourself to think better and do better. Okay?
Damn. dance.
Now, apart from me wanting you to change your mind about overconsumption and other things, obviously, just changing your mind in general is such a broad topic. And I feel like when you grow up, you are forced to learn and unlearn things and change your mind about so many things. Because in as much as people don't like to admit it, a lot of the opinions that we have are influenced opinions. A lot of the beliefs that we have are influenced beliefs. You didn't just like believe that when you were born immediately. It's somebody else's opinion that influenced you to have that opinion, if you like it or not. Maybe I'll change my mind about this later on. I don't know. But I just think that because you weren't just born thinking the way that you think. There's things in your life that happened that influenced you to think in that line or against that line of the way that things happened. You know what I'm saying? And that is why I want to talk about this topic, because I feel like changing your mind has been made to feel and look like it's a bad thing. Well, it's not. Because when you change your mind, you're being made to look like you don't have a stand on something. Like you're just being swayed left, right, and center. Granted that you can look like that if you are changing your mind every 2 days about a specific thing. Maybe do research about it. Have real reasons for having that opinion on something before you change your mind. And sometimes I look at my life and the things that I changed my mind about, and I am just like grateful to God and like the influences that I have and the things that influence me, that none of the things that have changed my mind have affected me negatively. So obviously changing your mind is a sign of growth and learning and evolving perspectives. It means that you're open to new information. It means that you are open to new experiences that actually will shift your view of things. And that's not a bad thing, because imagine not being able to shift your perspective because of the experiences that you've had. What kind of person are you? Like, don't you grow? Like, don't you evolve as a human being? There's a lot of growth that happens like when we grow up and like when we live just a day-to-day lives, like mentally, physically, that forces us to change our minds on things. Growing up, I really thought like being skinny was a bad thing. I really thought it was the biggest crime of all time. I thought I had to finish the food that's my plate. Yes, maybe I do have to finish it. But like when I'm not the one who decided the amount of food I want to eat and you're going to force me to finish it, doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? And then growing up, you start to realize that, oh, maybe I should appreciate my body. Maybe I don't look too bad. Maybe I'm actually healthy and not unhealthy, you know? Maybe I don't need to have that much food on my plate. I can just have enough to satisfy me. Maybe I don't need to eat 3 times a day and I just need to eat when I'm hungry. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the views that I had as a kid, some of them have changed, and I felt kind of weird changing my mind about them because I don't know, there's a guilt that comes with it. Why? Because already just changing your mind as a kid, you looked like a rebellious person. Well, you are actually a rebellious person, but it's not a bad thing. It's actually a sign of growth, and it's a sign that you are open to different views and different perspective of things. Your perspective is evolving as you grow up, and it's not a bad thing, even with the guilt that it comes with, because not gonna lie, there's people who actually feel guilty and they are afraid to change their minds. They will even act differently, like their actions will be different, but their opinions will still be the same. So in their mind, they're bad people. Obviously, the society has made us to feel like when you change your mind very so often, you are an indecisive person and you're very unreliable. It's like there's such a big pressure to stick by your past decisions, and like your freedom of thinking has been limited, and even your freedom of just being happy with the decisions that you make has been limited, because now you're making decisions for the people around you and how they're going to view you and their perspective of you, instead of making decisions for yourself and what you're going to like. Because think about it, nobody wants to be like indecisive. People just want to decide things and move on with their life from there. But then indecisiveness comes in when you choose something, but then you're thinking about how maybe you're going to need to choose the other thing later on. You're shy about you changing your mind later on. You don't want to have to go through changing your mind later on. It's such an annoying thing, isn't it? Because it's so stressful. Already, you're trying to make yourself feel comfortable with the decisions that you're making, but also your perspective of yourself and your perspective by others is being challenged here. So you're already feeling guilty about this, but like I'm here to tell you that Itaisha too, it's gonna end. Like your guilt is not gonna last for long. You just need to embrace being flexible and the idea that it's okay to change your mind. Of course, if something no longer aligns with your values and your goals, change your mind. You don't need to be holding on to things that don't serve you. You don't need to be holding on to ideas and perspectives that don't serve your lifestyle and your life right now and you genuinely think was not helpful at all. You know, even in relationships and in friendships, Kwanzaa, this one, you need to normalize changing your mind. Whether it's about the people that you want in your life, you can change your mind because Kwanzaa, this one, it affects your boundaries a lot. Like when it comes to relationships, some people just don't change their minds because they're afraid to set boundaries. And that is dangerous, you know, because maybe you've grown up thinking that like dating people is not a nice thing to do. Like you shouldn't date that many people because society has termed you as a whore for dropping relationships for the next. And you're not. You know, you can literally just change. Like if somebody is going against your boundaries, you can leave them. Imagine you're not tied to them. It's the whole point of dating. Like you're not married to each other. If they are against your values and your principles as a person, then you can change your mind about them. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes the society and the pressure that it puts upon us can make us make the wrong decisions for ourselves. And it's like scary to change your mind because now you're perceived differently. And just because you didn't have boundaries, like walking into that relationship doesn't mean that you can't create some boundaries. You can change your mind about literally not everything. Maybe stick your ground to the things that you believe in. But what I mean to say is that don't let the idea of a relationship that you had hold you from making the right decisions for yourself just because you don't want to look like you don't have a stand on things. Because you change your mind very so often. You see what I'm saying? I remember one time my friend was confiding in me about how there's a friend of hers that had done her dati. And to be honest, to me at that time, my opinion was that she should have cut her off because she just didn't deserve to be friends with somebody who did her dirty like that. But then you forget, like, human beings are just human beings. They're going to make mistakes. Like, you literally can just talk to them, listen to their side of the story, decide to forgive each other and move past that situation. But to me, I was so influenced with the cutting people off culture. And I just thought, if anybody does you dirty, you need to cut them off your life. That is not my opinion right now. In fact, you shouldn't just be cutting people off in your life. I think that people should exercise their problem solving and conflict resolution skills because not everybody in your life needs to be cut off. Just try and resolve the friendship or the relationship. If it doesn't work out, well and good, but you don't need to be cutting everybody off. It's not the way to go about things in life. This is how I thought things should be handled in my past, but then I don't think that anymore. I changed my mind about it and I stand on business on what I think now. See what I'm saying? You can you're allowed to change your mind. And also, don't be shy when people ask you, didn't you think this in the past and now you're saying this is what you believe? Don't be shy. Yes, you can be very open about how you change your mind. There's nothing wrong with that. But because we haven't been acclimatized to seeing people change their minds, then it looks like it's a bad thing. No, it's not a bad thing. Yeah, you might have voted for that president and then 1 year down the line, you're like, oh my God, I made a mistake. I don't want this president no more. And you're going to be outside protesting against that president. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to change your mind. You don't have to stick by what you chose just because you don't want to look like you don't got a stand and you are an indecisive person. You know what I'm saying? This actually also happens in your professional life, like your career, and when it's time to pivot through things. Let's just be for real. In high school, when you're supposed to choose the thing and the career that you want to do when you get out of high school, most people don't really know what they're going to do or what they want to do. And we're forced to look and think that we know what we're going to do. I really thought I wanted to be an architect. And then not so long after that, I wanted to be a civil engineer. I thought I was so serious about that. I even started studying civil engineering from home, mid-COVID. Literally, people are in a disastrous world and I'm over here just trying to be an engineer. 3-4 months later, I started a YouTube channel and now I'm into journalism and I get into uni and I started doing journalism. Best decision I've ever made, by the way. All this to say that imagine you can change your mind whenever. Granted that maybe changing your mind will cause you a delay. Kwanzaa, when it comes to like your professional life and your career, maybe it will. But it could be the best decision ever. Because why would you hustle and struggle to do something just because your parents have an opinion of that course and they have an opinion against the course that you want to do? You know, change your mind about things. Kwanzaa, when it comes to your professional life and career. I know a person who literally thought they wanted to be a lawyer and they started law until they decided, you know what, this is not my thing. I'm going to do journalism. And they did journalism, and guess what? They passed with flying colors. Flying colors, I'm telling you. So when it comes to changing your mind about your career path or your professional goals, this is not a common thing, but it often leads to more fulfilling opportunities. So you gotta put you first over here. Stop trying to please other people and like please the society by looking very posh, because society has made a bunch of careers look better than others. It doesn't make it better than others for you. It doesn't make it better than others for you. So you put you first, choose what you want to do. And if you maybe end up on the wrong side of things, you can change your mind immediately, if not yesterday. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people feel shy when they start something and they fail to finish because they don't want to look like a failure, because not finishing things is termed as failing. You know, dropping out of school, failure. Starting a business and ending it before a year ends, failure. Getting into a marriage and getting a divorce, you're a failure. You know, like not getting to the end of things has been termed as failing. Well, it's not. Really, you can just change your mind about that particular thing and move on with your life. In fact, you might even have a better life. So don't feel shy when it comes to changing your mind. You're not a failure for doing it. You got to put you first and chase whatever it is that you want to chase. Even if that's what you wanted to chase like a year ago and now you feel like this is not the right thing for you. Honestly, we're just kids in this life. We're specks in this universe. Yes, you'll change your mind. The world is not going to end. You just go ahead and do that other thing, you know? Of course, there's consequences to that. Maybe money, or you're going to have to like give up a lifestyle or something. But at least you're doing what you want to do now and not what somebody else or other people expect you to do. So just do that. I just think that people should start appreciating the freedom of saying no after saying yes. This has been frowned upon so many times and it's been made to look like the biggest crime ever, as if Hitler didn't exist. You know, you saying no immediately after you said yes is okay. Imagine, you can just do it. No one is going to kill you or die after you say it. Oh, unless somebody is actually going to die. You can say no after saying yes, literally immediately after, or even 2 years after. It doesn't matter the time. If you feel like that type of lifestyle or that answer did not serve you for the 2 years, maybe this different answer to this question will serve you differently. So sometimes just say yes to things. If it doesn't serve you a month later, 2 months later, or like a year or 2 years, it's not serving you, you can change your mind and be like, I'm done with that. Okay? Start that business. It will probably work maybe for the 2 years or the 3 years. Like if it doesn't align with your values, your principles, and it just doesn't align with your lifestyle and it's not working 3 years to come, you can literally just close that business. Why would you stay in debt? Why would you continue to hustle and not even make profits on your business just because you don't want to look like a failure because you've dropped that business? Just do it. You can change your mind. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm preaching right now. This is so crazy. Sometimes we actually say yes to things out of obligation or like initial enthusiasm, only later to realize that it's not for you. You know, you want to be like, yeah, because you feel like you are obligated to say yes, or because you're actually initially enthusiastic about that decision. But then later on, you realize it's not working for you. It's not for you. So give yourself permission to change your mind. Even if you've already committed to something, just give yourself permission to change your mind. It's not a bad thing. It's actually very liberating and it's very, I don't know if this is the right word to use, but it's very freeing. Okay? Don't let the fear of judgment hold you down, because a lot of people have opinions like about the life that you're living. Even right now, the way, even that decision that you made, there's a lot of people who have an opinion on that. After you change your mind, a lot more people are going to have an opinion about that. So don't let the fear of judgment hold you down to like a decision or an opinion that you don't want to hold or have. You know what I'm saying? Just change your mind. Stick your guns to it. There's people who are going to ride with you, are going to ride with you. People who aren't. And that's just life. Okay? A lot of people are going to judge you as an inconsistent person. You're very indecisive. Uyo ata ajuangi yako on which side? Because they're not used to changing their mind, and to them, changing your mind is like a big crime. And maybe that's the problem, to be honest. So don't let people's judgments or the fear of judgment hold you down. People are going to react to your opinion whether you like it or not. People are going to react to you changing your mind whether you like it or not. Kwanzaa, if people don't understand your view or they don't support your new opinion or your new decision, they're absolutely going to react, not in the best way possible, but they're going to have a reaction. Don't let that hold you back, and just live life, just live life. Okay? Even God himself changed his mind about human beings. We were pretty shit to him and he still forgave us. He, in fact, even gave his son to die. You giving your kid to die for people who are disrespecting you. He still did it. And there was a time that he changed his mind about people disrespecting him. You remember in the temple when people were like selling stuff over there, and he actually punched them real bad. So just change your mind. Don't be shy. Just change your mind. All right. This has been such a fun episode. Remember to change your mind about whatever it is that you feel like is making you feel uncomfortable, so that you can be free from that decision and that lifestyle. All right. Thank you so much for clicking this episode. It's been so much fun. What? I can't believe season 1 is going to be coming to an end real soon. I am so happy that you are here. Don't forget to follow this episode, like it, comment, and maybe just engage on the poll that I left down below. Yeah, do that. Check us out on socials at All Things People Podcast, and obviously myself, Ajoy Ogwedi, on social media. It's been so much fun. You already know. I will catch you later.
Damn.